Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to another Sunday Night Live Toys Chats with my host, Dave World Toys. Well, tonight I am doing a Echo Base, Star Wars Echo Base live for next Saturday, the 4th of February. Well, I've got a special friend of mine in the back. I'll let him introduce himself and what he does and what he entails. Guys, please welcome Dan. Hey, Dan.
Good evening. Good evening. You're right.
Eh, Evening, sir. Just a
Evening.
quick question before we carry on. What do you
Yeah.
do, or what do you collect just for the people, for the new people, for the channel? What do you actually collect yourself?
I collect mostly vintage Star Wars at the moment. Well, I'm on a bit of a break of it because I sort of like branched out onto other toys,
Yep,
uh, which is a bit of everything. But yeah, vintage is my main thing. You can see some of it behind me.
perfect. So, but yes, thank you for coming on for this pre-Echo Base live show.
Thank
I
you for
know
having me.
sometimes a lot of people keep asking me the questions. I just thought I'd do one for like if anyone's got any certain questions, I'll hopefully put in the chat.
Yeah.
There's a few other bits hopefully going on, that sort of stuff. So, if you want to explain what Echo Base is and what it's all about, if you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, sure. Well, Echo Base was set up just over 9 years ago, as sort of like a Facebook alternative to eBay, uh, and sort of like a safe place to buy and sell Star Wars. Um, and it's kind of grown from there. We've got over 16,000 members now,
Yep.
worldwide, and we branched out into other groups as well, sort of like for we've got the vintage group, which is the core group, and you've got the modern group. We've got like a retro toys group, an auction group, a valuation group. We've got all sorts of things, which is
Yeah.
it's just
Does that all come under
exploded.
the Does that all come under the Echo Base Live banner or something? Can you find
Yeah,
it also?
um, Echo Base Live is sort of just for the live events, which they started off in 2016 as really just for a way to meet a lot of the people that we've dealt with. We've all been dealing with each other for however long, and we thought let's have kind of like a get together, and where we
Yeah.
can sort of like do a few trades, buy a few things, sell a few things. And it started off with a few tables, and then all of a sudden, you know, coming into this next event, it's going to be probably our biggest one yet. We would have thought.
Crazy. Do you
Yeah,
think you can actually go much bigger than this, or I know you can probably get two halls and that sort of two shops and that sort of stuff.
yeah. Depending on the availability. I mean, the hall that we've
Yeah.
got right now is quite big, and it's probably big enough. We could probably cram more tables in there if we needed to, but we like to give
Yeah.
people a bit of room as well to move around. Because we've
Yeah.
had small rooms before, and it's been tight and
Cramped.
a
Yeah.
bit sweaty.
Yes.
Yeah,
Especially the COVID times, just in case and bits and pieces. Need to be better to be
that's right.
safe than
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah, since sort of COVID, obviously we had to postpone a couple of events
Yeah.
at that time. But yeah, sort of since then we've sort of like been aware of people want a bit of space as well. But yeah, it's
Perfect. What sort of stuff do you expect at the show? What sort of stuff can you expect at the show?
it
I'm only going on like past like YouTube when if you've never been, I've never been to the event, but I'm selling at the event.
yeah.
But I always get people asking me all the time, "What's at the event? What can we expect? Is there other than Star Wars there? Is there any other little bits there?" I thought you might be the perfect question.
Yeah, it's a good question. I would say that like 99% is Star Wars, and I would say a very high percentage of that is going to be vintage stuff. Uh,
Yeah,
Obviously, we do have modern stuff there, and we have sort of like arts and crafts stuff, which is all Star Wars related. That people come along and sell. There's a lot of artists there who put some really good work up and everything. But
yeah,
yeah, I would say because it all stems from the vintage group. Vintage is the theme.
Yes.
and there's always some amazing pieces there.
Yeah.
Which
Just
is
to
good.
let you know, this Aaron, our friend Aaron, he's going to come in to help me at the show. He's in the chat and bits and
All
pieces.
right.
So thanks, Aaron, for joining. So there you go. So
Excellent.
technically, it's good to say 60% vintage, and then there's the rest of it modern. Would you say?
Um, no, I'd say probably like more than 3/4 would be vintage. But it varies. I would say that like not every show is the same, and it
No.
depends who can go and who's setting up there. But we do have quite a few regulars, that come to every event and
Yeah.
and sell there.
Yeah, it's hard to say who's going to bring what's going to bring stuff.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
You
one
don't
of
know
the
what
things,
stock
isn't it?
people
It's
have got.
yeah. Somebody to say, "Oh, I've got this right now," and then 3 days later, have you got this figure? It's like,
Like,
no, it's sold in the last 3 days at the
yeah,
shop.
sold. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All I know, a guy, one of my friends, Robbo Toys, he's coming with his comic book collection and vintage toys and a few other bits. He's also sharing a table with his good friend. He's looking. He's got autographs and that sort of stuff
Okay.
from all different genres. So
Yeah.
they were still really good guys. I know they've got a table somewhere in the show. I don't know where, but they are amazing. They asked me to shout them out. Sometimes I know ID Toys is there with all the newer
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. I think they're always there. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big one. I know there's a couple other people up and down the country, that sort of stuff. So, but no. So technically, then it is next Saturday, isn't it? The 4th of
It is.
February.
Yeah. 4th of February.
It is 9. Is it 10 o'clock till 3:30? The show
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. 10 till 3:30. What we do is we have the charity raffle sort of round about 3 o'clock, and then things start to wind down after that because obviously everyone needs to pack up and everything, and it takes a
Yeah,
while to do. But yeah, the sort of like the charity raffle is the
almost
climax of the show.
perfect. And it's free to get in, isn't it? After 10 o'clock.
It is, yes, absolutely free to get in. Come and go as you please.
So no like stamps, no wristbands, no
No,
nothing.
no, no. You can go in and out, and it's free for all.
Yeah, I know there was an early bird entrance, which is like,
Yeah,
is it 9 o'clock or 9:15 till 10?
it's the early birds. They always sell out very quickly.
Yeah,
And I don't know what numbers we have of them, but obviously there's
no,
a limited number of them. They sell out very quickly, and they sold out months ago.
yeah.
But,
It
but
is
yeah.
the actual shop itself got a capacity so you can go to so many people, then you block it off, or
Um,
is it, some shows is I've known a couple of shows where they've actually stopped people going because it's over capacity.
yeah. I to be honest, I don't think we've troubled that sort of capacity because the place that we've got at the moment is much bigger than we've had before.
Yes,
And obviously you've got people going in and you've got people going out, and it gets busy, but it never gets sort of like dangerously busy, if you see what I mean. Yeah,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
plenty of room. Yeah. The way that the tables are laid out as well sort of like benefits that as well. It's a good route to walk around that's quite
yeah,
clear.
yeah. There's our Thursday night friend, Dark Log. I normally do a Thursday night chat, and then G-Force from America and
Hey,
that sort of stuff.
excellent.
So, but no, do you get many people coming from around the world to the show?
Yeah, we've had visitors. I mean, we got a lot from Europe, obviously, and we've had quite a few from America in the past. But yeah, we get a good, people, especially Europe, because we've got like an Echo Scandinavia group as well.
Wow.
Yeah, we've got one that sort of like caters, and they actually hold their own Echo Live events um, in Scandinavia twice a year, and that's grown really as well. So if ever you can get over there for one of those, it's well worth it too because they're becoming really popular.
That sounds interesting. Actually, I might try that
Yeah,
actually, because
yeah,
technically, I think a lot of people come to the UK one just to find the old Palatoy stuff,
yeah,
and especially I don't know what countries who made Scandinavian toys? Do you know?
You're gonna be looking at much of the same sort of thing. But we've got like a Scandinavia and a Benelux one, so we cover sort of like all of Europe. Obviously, they're slightly smaller,
Yes.
groups, but they've got their own niche now, and they're well established.
So technically, it's not Europe; it's across the galaxy. Then it's all across
We're
the
getting there.
galaxy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean we've got we've got an Echo Base USA and an Echo Base Australia.
yeah,
But to the joy, some of the toys freeze. It gets a bit chilly there, doesn't it?
yeah.
But yeah, we're primarily this country, but yeah, we've got places running around the world, sort of thing.
Yeah. Do you know if that Vectus is coming this time? The auction company that's the biggest
Oh
toy
yeah,
auction
Vectis.
company.
Yeah, I think Vectis is there every time.
Yeah. I was
So
in
yes,
there. They actually promoted you guys on their TV series. A couple of
yes, they did. Yeah, yeah,
yeah. That was
yeah.
such hard. So hard to watch. That was. It was unbelievable because I couldn't. You know, I actually booked in for the last year's show, and it's like 3 days before I caught COVID from another convention.
Right.
I could have gone because no rules, but I couldn't risk the collectors and fans and that sort of stuff. And I just thought
Yeah.
by the Friday and Saturday, I was dead to the bone. I was really gutted. So, but no, this time I'm really, really looking forward to it and
Gonna
bits of
you're gonna be
meeting.
there.
Yes, cross my
Absolutely.
fingers. I did have a scare like last night and this morning, but I think I've now sorted it now.
Okay, that's good.
Originally, my van guy I booked like months and months ago. Like beginning of the week, I messaged him. I said, "Are we still on?" He said, "Sorry, mate, the van's broke. I can't make it." I'm like,
Oh no.
"And I thank you very much." So there you go. A few people do ask Dan about the parking and that sort of stuff at Echo.
Yeah,
I know for the shopping centre, there's an underground parking and everywhere else.
yeah,
Is that how's the best way to do it?
yeah. There's ample parking actually,
Yeah.
and either side of the centre. We do actually on the Echo Live page put a map up with to tell you which car parks to go to.
Is it
To be closest.
car park for?
I think it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And go to one of those. There's plenty of parking. Plenty of parking. So yeah, not a problem there.
And then there's enough food places around. There's enough
Oh
shopping.
yeah, yeah.
So if you want to bring your like the better half or the missus or whatever,
That's
she
it.
can shopping centres like was it
That's it.
five, couple hundred stalls,
Yeah,
shops?
it's a big
Yeah.
shopping centre. It's a
Plus
big
it's all
shopping
indoors, so
centre.
you don't need to worry about the weather,
No,
that sort of stuff. So
that's right. Yeah, that's right.
perfect.
It's a good location.
So technically, then, what theme have you gone for this year, and what guests have you actually got this year? Do you know, Dan?
We yeah um we chose we went for a Darth Vader kind of theme this year because we've got quite a few guests from Rogue One this year, which we've got we've got Spencer Wilding who was Darth Vader. We've got Guy Henry who modelled for Tarkin.
Yep.
We've got Paul Casey, Aidan Cook. So we've got quite a few Rogue One actors, and we've got Kenneth Colley as well coming,
Yes.
who we've had before, but he's a great guest.
Always a popular guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he's lovely. And we've got the Bob Brecken and Jeff Maisie from Palitoy, and they come to talk about Palitoy days, which
Yes.
is always popular as well. So yeah, it's going to be great.
Talking about the pallet boy, I know they're doing a talk at the show. Are they or not?
I
Is that
think
in the
so. Yeah, they
same?
usually do.
Is that in the same hall at the same room as the rest, or is that in a separate room, or is it just all in the same?
That is possibly we've done it in a separate room before. I'm not entirely sure on that one.
Okay.
But I would, yeah, there'll probably be somewhere that you can go and where they have their talk. but I'm not sure if they're doing a presentation or if they're just going to be at the tables this time.
Yeah.
So I can't confirm that yet.
Yeah. I just thought that's the question because sometimes people
Yeah,
might
no,
not
it's a good
know and
question.
bits,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah,
Sometimes you think of a question on the spot, you forget. It's like, does he ask that question? I can't remember. So,
yeah. They
you know.
might just be in the guest area this time.
But you can
We're
also
just trying.
go up to them asking a few questions at the table. If
Oh
not,
God, yeah.
yeah,
They love to have a chat with you. They're really good.
yeah.
Great to have a chat to. Yeah,
Sweet.
recommend it.
So, if Echo Base then or yourself could get one guest for Echo Base Live, just to say you've had him or done him, anyone across the Star Wars universe or galaxy from anywhere, who would you choose and why?
Oh, that's really difficult. That's really difficult. I mean,
You
we
don't have
have
to name it down to one. You can name it down to a couple of people if you wanted to.
obviously, can you imagine if we could get any sort of like big
Yeah,
main?
yeah,
It'd be ridiculous. But we've reached out to like Wayne, who does most of the guest
yes,
work. I know that he's reached out to let's say slightly bigger
yes,
actors before, but the sort of like the costs and everything were sort of way beyond anything that we
yes,
could possibly stretch to, because we're completely sort of self-funded and everything, and yeah, but it's really difficult to say who you'd pick ideally. But
yeah. It's almost like at the moment you almost say Harrison Ford or Mark Hamill is the two big ones
it's
for vintage.
exactly, do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And you
The other
would.
one you would almost say, but I know he doesn't do that many appearances. Is George Lucas.
I've never heard of him. Sorry, George.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, okay. Mickey Mouse then, because Mickey Mouse now owns the franchise. How's that?
We'll bring him in.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
yeah, it's we can aspire to sort of like getting that big. But I mean, again with the guests, when we started off, we didn't have any guests, and we started off, well, we've got a couple of people in, such as like we had some stormtroopers and
yeah,
stuff like that from the original trilogy, and then it's sort of like again, it's growing, but obviously, it can only grow so fast. But every year, or every two events we hold a year,
yeah.
it tends to sort of like there's always a surprise, and like we got so and so, and like wow, that's great,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Do you like get guests to like turn up on the spur just in case? And he's like, "One second, I know you played Thingamajig," or did the returning guests ring you and say, "Have you got a spare spot?"
do you know what we have had requests to come back as well as repeat
Yes,
guests, which is really nice because they've
that's it.
done well.
That is.
Yeah, they've done well on the day, and they've been impressed with how a bunch of us that weren't doing anything like this before, can handle it and everything, and yeah,
Yeah.
and we learn every time. We get more experience every time that we hold an event.
G-Force has just asked a question. What kind of attendance do you expect?
That's a
It's
really good
quite hard.
question.
It's
It,
quite
it is
hard to
hard.
probably put a number, isn't it? Because
Yeah,
you don't know how many people are going to turn up to the shopping centre itself.
yeah. But
You know.
what we do get feedback from the shopping centre, usually in sort of like the week following, and they'll always say like their footfall is like for that day increased dramatically, and
Yeah.
sometimes sort of like up to a third more than usual for a Saturday.
Yeah.
So we obviously do have an impact, which is a good impact on the shopping centre, which is like why they let us come back every time.
Yes.
Because we put on a good show, and to be fair to the Kingfisher, they're like always right behind us and
Yeah.
really helpful. Yeah,
Well, that's the main thing, is that you want the shopping
yeah,
centre behind you and
yeah, and
makes a
they
good
are.
bits and yeah. That is, it's one of the best things to do, isn't it? To have
Yeah,
a venue or something behind you. So that is.
that's right. Yeah,
We still need to give a shout out to Wayne and Adam for putting on the show. All they work
absolutely.
do behind the scenes. They must be under, occasionally I message Adam to see how he's doing. He's like, don't ask, particularly to speak to me some other time. You
But
know,
he's very busy. He's the boss
yes.
and he's very busy. He does all the sort of like behind the scenes stuff, and you know, there's so much in the arranging of it, and Wayne as well, and the whole team of us. You we'll have different things to do, and but yeah,
So
that
technically, when we get
it's
there,
good.
if you see like a load of adult Jawas running round, it's the people that's looking after the show.
Yeah, we all have our admin lanyard, so you'll sort of like you'll see us around there, but we have like an admin table,
Yes.
and that's where all sort of like the charity prizes go, and we keep them all behind there for when we do the raffles and so on.
Can you tell us any more about the charity or bits and
I
pieces? How
can,
it?
yeah, I can. Actually, we've only launched the charity drive a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
What happens is, I'll explain it very quickly. Is that
Yeah. No.
every year, one of the admins chooses a charity. So we all take it in turns, and obviously we try to go for charities that are, say, local to us individually, or smaller charities, that really can do with the help. Um, but actually, I can tell you, because like this year it was my turn to choose the charity.
Hey.
So I've chosen a charity which is local to me, and it's called Friends to Friends. And basically, what that they do is they look after adults with learning disabilities and physical disabilities, and they take them out for days out and things like that. And it's a really worthy cause, I think, this year, because I think you know we all know people that have got friends or relatives, uh, say, with learning difficulties or mental problems, and
Yeah.
things like that, and uh, they do a really good job of basically caring and looking after these people,
Yeah.
um, and because they're local to me, I actually went down yesterday to meet them all, and introduce myself and explain to them um, what we're doing for them, and just to see their faces um, when they were clapping and everything, and they were like thrilled, and it was such a nice surprise for them. So I'm really hoping that we can really get them some good money this year.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, because it's my turn, I'm very passionate about the charity, and I'm pushing it all the time at the moment, um, because I really want it to do well, and it means a lot to me. So
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah,
We,
it's a good one.
I know some of our friends across the world and that sort of stuff. If they can't make it, how can they support this charity then if they want to?
We have we've already set up a Just Giving page for it, which I can give you a link to at some point, if that's any use.
Yeah.
Um, uh, but yeah, we've set up a Just Giving, which is we've got an Echo Base UK Just Giving, and it's linked to the Friends to Friends charity. Um, so we've got I think we've got £50 already from that was just from donations before we do any other raffles or anything. But
That is nice.
yeah, it's lovely. The mega charity raffle, which takes place at the end of the event. We're also calling for prizes for that. I'm gonna donate some stuff, and uh, you can win some really good prizes for just a strip of raffle tickets, and hopefully we'll raise a fair bit from that.
Yeah. No, I know about that raffle like last year. I've got a few things in mind. I might
Right?
give two like mystery boxes or bags
Oh,
and that
wonderful!
sort of
Yeah,
stuff. So
absolutely fantastic.
you know, hello, Mr. Vet, how you doing? A few more people join in and that sort of stuff. So hello to everyone that's
Excellent.
coming in and things like. So no, it's like I've got a queue. I don't know if to leave it in a mystery box or just give it to the guys. Or say there's two. I've got two in mind. Perfectly honest.
I'd probably say do them as two separate things and put them on there.
Would you do it like
Because
a mystery box so when our people open it, then, or would you show the people first?
I would show them first, because I think the way that we do it is when we do the draw, then whoever's got the win, they come over and they choose something off the table, So if everything's there to do.
I think you must know G-Force somehow, but he's asking the question. He's like, "What's your favourite thing about Echo and that sort of stuff?"
Favorite thing to do at Echo? Do you mean like at the event itself? I'll say at the event. Well, usually, most times I have a table myself where I sell prints of my artwork.
Yep.
But I think one my favourite part of it is just like to see everybody have a good. I spend more time just chatting with everybody and having a good catch up with them, and because we're a pretty tight community, and
Yeah.
it's really great. We only see a lot of these people. Only see them a couple of times a year, and it's great to get together. And then there's the Saturday night where we all go out for a drink and a curry and wind
Oh,
down after a heavy day.
yes. Can anyone come to the curry or bits and pieces? Is it an open event
Um,
or just?
it's the curry is sort of like if you're a member of the group, I think we usually sort of like there's usually a call put out. I think I think this time there's like 70 odd going. Not everybody goes, but you know, um, but yeah, there's like we're all out and about in the town afterwards anyway, so you're bound to bump into some of us at
Some of
some
us?
point. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all there.
To answer the question for Gap After Dark, what is passion for me? I just like helping collectors out, helping friends out, that sort of stuff. Every single time I've done a toy fair for the last 20 odd years, the first one I always go like above and beyond my expectations and that sort of stuff. It's like the end of the week, I've got a few code systems. If you mention that code, you'll either get a certain item or certain things from me at the show. One of them's like a few people already know this one already, but like the Japanese stand solo post, sorry, the Japanese quadro poster from Solo itself. It's all in Japanese. That sort of stuff. Um, I've got like free sweets. I just like helping collectors out and you know getting Echo Base up and running. And I never heard about it till a couple of guys on the USR or ZSR mentioned it. So that's how I'm getting into it. So, but there you go. So it's crazy, isn't it? So technically, you've got the Rogue One. You've got 6 guests plus the 2 Palitoy guys. Is that correct?
Let me see. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Subject to change, just in case there's any
Yeah.
plan. Yeah,
Sometimes
yeah,
yeah. But as far as we know at the moment, no last minute changes. Everything is as advertised.
yeah. Um, 10 o'clock Kingfisher Shopping Centre this Saturday.
This Saturday,
10 till 3:30 Kingfisher
10 till
Shopping Centre
3:30 ish.
ish.
I'm hoping we have a big raffle and it goes on a little bit longer.
Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
So technically, you've got the room to like 4ish, just in case it runs over.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, there's no sort of like fixed time.
'Cause-
Like we don't chuck everybody out. It just starts to people start packing up and it starts to fizzle out a little bit around then.
yeah,
Everybody gets off and gets back to if they're stopping over to their hotels and that ready for
yeah.
later on when they go back out. But yeah,
Question for both: what's the recent Star Wars
what's the
items?
rarest Star Wars item? Personally, I don't particularly go for anything rare, uh, simply because it's not my sort of budget, and I tend to sort of like stick to things that I remember more as a kid. Um, so as for rarities, uh, I've got a Palitoy 12 back Stormtrooper, which I suppose is a little bit rarer, um, and a 12 back Darth Vader, but I
Yeah,
don't go for the rare stuff really.
yeah.
nothing I would say. Like, I've got nothing that I would say is like this is really
Yes.
rare. You know, it's like it's all pretty standard stuff, but it's what I like.
Yeah. For me, I'm for rare stuff for Star Wars. I haven't got much at all. Perfectly honest. I've got a few harder and unusual little bits coming with to me at the show. It's like carded like toys for the last 20, 30 years, that sort of stuff. And I've got a few vehicles, but nothing, I'd say Star Wars Holy Grail toys, I should say, or rare. I've got a load of like rare cards and that sort of stuff, like Europeans, that sort of
Yeah,
stuff coming with me. But, I can't say too much rare stuff. It's not my ultimate passion, I should say.
yeah. Same with me.
Yeah, I grew up on it, but you know, yeah. So, guys, if you got any questions in the chat, please bring them out to Dan. He might be able to answer them or try his best to.
I will try my best to.
But yes, it's so. Yeah, you looking forward to it then?
Oh God, yeah. I'm always really excited about it. And to say, I'm very excited about this one because it's my charity, and all the donations are welcome. We have the big raffle. We've got some great guests,
Yeah.
and just to sort of see everybody, I'm very excited. Yeah.
So all in all, if you go to Echo Base Live on Facebook, most of the stuff is on there, isn't it? Up to date information.
Yes, all the up to date information. That's the most up to date place to get your information from. And of course, you can always, if you're on the group, drop me a message, and I'll help as much as I can. I'm nearly always available, so
Yes.
so that can always help.
The one question I forgot to ask you at the beginning, quite a few people did ask me, why is it in Redditch? Kingfisher's,
Right.
Redditch shopping centre or Redditch itself. I've got
Yeah.
my own reasons, but I thought I'd ask you, Dan.
Yeah, I'll give you I'll give you the proper reason why it's in Redditch, and that's because Adam, who created Echo Live, and it's his baby, but he works at the Kingfisher shopping centre, so obviously he can get use of rooms or units to hold the event at no extra cost to us, which we couldn't afford to put something that big on out of our own pocket. So that's kind of like the real reason why it's in Redditch. But also Redditch is a good central location, and most people seem to manage to. We have people traveling from Ireland, Europe, and we've had them coming from America. So
yeah. G-Forces like having Echo twice a year helps as well.
Yeah. We are constantly prepping for the next show. I would say it starts pretty much as soon as this one finishes. We're already thinking about the next one. It does take that long to do. Obviously, we don't find out the date of the next one straight away. It's usually about a week after the event or so. And then we have to sort of like making plans. But yeah, the preparations start almost immediately. I think Adam usually likes to have a little bit of time off to recover, because obviously he's like drained at the end of it.
Yes.
So he likes a couple of weeks to recover. But after a week or so, we're already thinking about what can we do next. And
understandable.
Yeah, it does take a lot of preparation, because we're not like a professional event planning crew or anything. We're just sort of like a bunch of guys who have joined together and tried to put something on, and it's grown and grown.
Yeah, full passion about what you do and bits and pieces. And
yeah.
I know sometimes the last couple, Jason Joyner, the owner of Showmasters, he normally shows up, advertises his museum. He's got a full team working for him, doing his big shows.
Yeah.
I can remember Jason like bringing guests into the old memorabilia shows before he even started Showmasters 20, 25 years ago.
Yeah.
So I think I know the answer to this question, but I will show you. Aaron did say, is it free parking or is it anywhere free parking?
No, but the parking charges are pretty good actually. It's not free parking, but uh, it's I can't remember how much it is, but it wasn't extortionate or anything like that. It's
Yep.
good safe parking in the multi-story. So yeah,
So it's always a question everyone asks. Is like, well, it's free
it's
to
a
get
good
into
question. Yeah,
technical. Yeah, it's free to get into like the Echo, but it's like technically your car parking fee is like the price to get into Echo and to support the
yeah, I
event.
suppose. Yeah, yeah,
You know, plus with like 200-300 big shops round the shopping mall, you can start at Echo, go all the way around the shopping centre, come back round to it, and still work out exactly the same door. It's like a big circle, if I remember rightly.
yeah, yeah. It is. Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you remember what other type of toys or anything else sells there? Or was it just, like I said earlier, is it just 99% Star Wars?
It's
Can
I would
you?
say it's 99% Star Wars. I would say because we set it up primarily as a Star Wars event, which is why we sort of like say we're the biggest Star Wars trading event in Europe because
Yeah,
it's what we focus on. So we don't really have much else. A lot of the toy fairs and everything, they're a bit of everything, aren't they? And
yeah.
but we are straight down the line aimed at Star Wars. So yeah.
So if you're expecting to find like the odd turtle figure or the other space series, don't expect to come and like get your.
No,
Technically,
don't.
technically there's an entertainer store still up in the end, round the corner.
Yeah, but
So
I think there is. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
you know, so yes. So
yeah.
technically, then a full lowdown then of the show before we wrap all this up. If you want to give the full lowdown again for the whole, what guest there is, what times for next Saturday, if you want to explain the whole lot again, just to the end, just in case
Yeah,
anyone new
absolutely.
comes in
Yep,
the end.
yep. So it's next Saturday, 4th of Feb, at the Kingfisher Shopping Centre in Redditch. Um, the general opening times are 10 a.m. and it'll start wrapping up around about 3:30 p.m. With the big mega charity raffle. So make sure you buy some tickets if you're going, please.
Are they a pounder strip for five, or do you know? Can you remember how much they are?
I think it's 10 £10 a strip. I think it's
Perfect.
£10 for five, but yeah, that all goes straight into the charity. And we'll also have like t-shirts and mugs for sale, and again, everything from that goes into the charity box. Um, and then we put that into our Just Giving account, and then at the end of the year, when we've got the lump sum, that transfers over to the charity, and then we start again.
So every year you choose a different charity, and this one's,
Yeah,
was it Friends for Family? Is
friends
it
to friends to friends.
Friends to
So it's
Friends?
friends number two, friends. It's yeah. So it's a really worthy cause. Again, um, you know, look them up, and we set the Just Giving up, and we hope we can do really well for them.
Yep, perfect. So technically, then to wrap it up. Next Saturday, 4th of
Next
February,
Saturday, yeah,
10 o'clock till 3:30 ish. Raffle starts at 3 o'clock.
around about 3 o'clock. Yeah,
Everything and anything Star Wars. So if you've got any other Star Wars questions or anything else, please come and ask some of the guys. Just enjoy yourself. It's in Kingfisher Shopping Centre, Redditch. It normally happens twice a year. The date for the following one will be announced a couple of 2-3 weeks after the
yeah,
event. You've got 6 guests from Rogue One.
yeah. We've got that's right. Yeah, yep, that's correct. Isn't it?
Yep. You've got the 2 guys from original Palatoy that used to make the toys and that pieces as well. So if you've got any Palatoy questions, those toy questions, those are probably guys to ask. I know for a fact you've got dealers up and down the country. I'll be there selling toys from the last 20, 30 years as well. All things Star Wars, from Cardi to Loose to lightsabers, everything and everything. Mainly, guys, just check out Echo Base Live on Facebook. That will give you most of the information. Bits. Keep checking other people's YouTube channels because I know I reached out to a few other YouTubers recently. They are definitely going to the event and they can't wait to get there just to meet up with their friends, say hello to everyone, see what's new or different. All I'm going to say is thank you so much, Dan. Anything else you want to plug before we end the
No,
stream, sir?
I say I hope that everyone that comes along has a great day. If you need got any more questions or any advice about the day, just drop me a message, and I'll be happy to help as best I can, and hopefully meet a lot of you there.
Where can we actually find you, Dan? Just in case people did want to do it. Is it Echo Base Live or is it find your
Um,
personal yourself?
you can either if you're on the vintage group, just drop me a message on there. Just message me in a private message, and I'll see it. I'm an admin on there, so just give me a shout, tag me or whatever.
Just put Dan and say hello and bits and
That,
pieces and
that's it. Yeah.
perfect.
I'll talk to anyone. But
I'll
yeah, I'm
hold you
happy
to
to
that when
help.
we get there.
Yeah. I'll come and see you now.
I'll be there somewhere in there. I don't know where yet, but I'm looking
No.
forward to like bits and pieces. So,
Yeah. Excellent.
but no, just want to say thanks for everyone that joined in tonight. G4, Super Awesome Geek Show, Aaron, Ronaldo, everyone else, a few other people. Just a massive shout out to Adam and Wayne again for doing this event. Dan, thank you so much for coming on and talking about
Thank you for
Echo
having me. Thank you for
for
having
this
me.
like 45 minutes or so. Guys, we just hope to see you guys next Saturday at the show. Starting this on the 1st of February, I'm doing the Star Wars month on my channel. Starting with Echo on the Thursday and Friday, or Wednesday and Thursday. I've got Echo with the guests, the lowdown of Echo on Thursday, and then Star Wars toys and how to is coming next month. Guys, please stay safe, keep well. Please come and say hello. Don't forget to support Friends to Friends charity.
Friends to friends. Yep. That's
All
wonderful.
that,
Thank you so much.
please come. So, guys, thank you. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe, and thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for coming on, Dan.
Thanks everybody. Thank you. See you
Bye.
everyone. Bye.